Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Quantum Health Connection. My name is Heather Nielsen, and I'm here with my fabulous co host, Vanessa Baldwin. And we have a real treat for you today. We're going to talk about the holidays, right, Vanessa?
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the holidays. Perfect timing, obviously, right? And it's just such the hustle and bustle right now, and I feel like we try to have the moments of slowness and stillness, and still bringing that into your daily routine is very, very important. And I'm finding that for myself right now because I know I choose everything, and thank you, Heather, for always reminding me of that because
You're welcome.
I do choose to engage, right? But I still have family and children and things that I have to engage with, and it feels I felt this month more than usual, like this intense pressure and like there's so much things that I have to do, and it just feels a lot, and kind of overwhelming. And I'm thankful to have some flower essences to support me through that. But yeah, I think also in the hustle and bustle of all of this, finding that time for slowness and stillness has been so invaluable right now for me personally. And what does that look like? That looks like making sure that I'm still seeing sunrise and spending some time out there orienting to my environment and taking my sunrise walk without a podcast, without a phone, without anything, just like having that 30-minute walk to myself to like clear the noise, calm the stuff down, kind of recalibrate, re-regulate, and then also I like to like stack it. Same thing at night, like making sure I'm off my phone and devices at an early time and still getting to bed early and wearing the blue blockers and getting in my bed around 8, 8:30 still, even though I have a list of things to do. Like just doing that. That's like what I feel like is really important. Those two bookends is like so important this time of year where we just, I know a lot of people can feel that hustle, bustle, the pressure, all the things that have to be done around the holidays. And I almost like wish sometimes I wish I didn't have to participate and I don't have to, right? But I like sometimes wish that for some of
That
us. Like
language
it's
is
like,
so tricky, though, because see how it always wants to pop out.
yeah, it does.
We've
It's
been
really
so
good.
programmed to be
It
having
is
to
like,
do stuff.
yes, yes. So yeah, I feel like that's been really interesting this year to like kind of note. And yeah, I also just want to remind you guys if you're loving the podcast to rate and review. And we thank you so much for tuning in and just like how much gratitude I have for you being a part of our community. And we both do have this gratitude for just I feel like honored when people like, I love your podcast and I listen to it and like it's helped me and supported me. And like, it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of, your health journey, even in just this way through the podcast. So I wanted to also mention that how much we appreciate you guys and all of that. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a very delicate time of year, I think, for a lot of people, Vanessa, because there's
Mm.
so much, the energy is so different from summer, right? I mean, it's condensed, it's more dense, it's
It
it's more
literally feels like there's
concentrated.
less time in the day.
Yes, there's less time. That's our perception, right? There's less hours of daylight. So we translate that as, oh my God, I don't have time to do all the things. But what are all the things you're choosing, right? So
Mhm.
it's interesting because we have quite a contrast because Vanessa has this robust, right, family life and friends, and her business is just, exploding. And she's got all these things to do and things that you really, really, really want to do that are so near and dear to your heart. And then you add on the holiday, like the big gifts and all the things, right? And what are we doing with our time? And so I find myself in this interesting place of having no family
Mhm.
around, and it's just
Good
very,
luck.
oh, thank you, my dear. And but it's a good thing for me because it's I have a lot of opportunity to right unpack all of the many years several decades of living to be with and to reflect, which is what I love for winter, is a slower pace. Take
Yeah.
a breath. Is I'm doing less. I feel like I've been fantasizing about being in semi-retirement, but I have stuff to do, right? Like I do need to do things. I need to focus on my livelihood and all that. But part of me just wants to just play and to hike and to cook and to bake and do all these things where it's just yummy, right? It's
Mhm.
yummy and I can feel relaxed while I'm doing it without, because I've honestly, Vanessa, my whole life, a lot of it's just residual trauma combined with, I need to make a living combined with our society's go, 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 all that stuff was, I was just like always wound up and tightly and, right. I was like going through life like that. That's where that led to that health crash that I had in 2010. So it's been a while that I've been climbing out of that. But I've
Yeah.
almost also in this stage of life in menopause now, 5 years in menopause, it's like I just don't want to do it. I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
think that
rush.
shift, I think that shift happened for you in menopause, you said, right?
I
Yeah.
don't want to rush. I'm not going to force myself. I don't want to have to do what I don't want to do. I am very selective and I really want to feel in my body, is this what I really want to do right now? Because, like I told
Mhm.
you, we have a choice. You don't even
Yeah,
have to
we
get
do
up in
have
the
a choice.
morning if you don't want to, because we literally drag ourselves. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. It's like, really? Do you really have to do all those things? No, you don't. So
No.
let's be honest, and I have to do this with myself every day. It's like, well, do you want your plants to live? Okay, so go water them. Like I
Right,
have to do
exactly.
things if
Right.
I want to have an experience. So I know this is getting off topic, but to me, it's really about flowing with the energy inside of me and matching that to the outside. I never miss sunrise. I'm even if it's through the
Mhm.
bathroom window, like I'm always tracking that sunrise, getting out for the morning light, and then at night, yes, I am blocking all artificial light. I want more candles, I want more darkness. And I'm not thinking about all the gifts I'm going to buy. Like I'm just opting out of all that. Sometimes I wish
Mhm.
I had, more of that stuff going on, but it's like, oh well, I did all that and it's okay. Like I don't have to feel bad about not participating in what everyone else is doing because it's really hard on people, right?
Yeah.
For
Oh,
those
yeah.
of us who don't fit into like the typical scenario, and it's okay, it's fine. There's plenty of other people out there who aren't doing all the things, and that's okay. So part of it's just giving yourself permission to just be okay. Just relax, take a breath.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that you get the slowness and the stillness. In a way, I'm like a little bit like I'm excited for that in my future one day. Like, because my kids are still young, right? So not too young, but yeah, there's still a lot of that that goes on. So that's really beautiful in a lot of ways too, that you get that time to just really reflect and go inward and, focus on what you do want. And there's magic in that, I think, for sure, and a lot of healing in that for sure. Yeah, so I'm still in the phase of, getting the gifts and, doing all those things that we do around the holidays, and I'm hosting Christmas and I'm doing a brunch, which is actually kind of really fun, a little less stressful actually. I did make that choice. That's a little less stressful than cooking a bigger dinner. So we're doing brunch and everybody helps out, but yeah, we'll do all that. So those are things, of course, I choose because I like to do them. Like I do like to have my family here, of course, and have, everybody here together. And I love to give and see the kids open something that's really exciting that they really want. And I love making nourishing food for everybody that they really enjoy. Like I love all that. Like that is, even though it's a little bit of work for me, I do really love the end result of it, right? Of course, right? So, yeah, that's all of that. And then I think it's important to share like how I handle, I was thinking this, like how do we handle like going to certain places that are not like super, maybe the environment is not so healthy for you. So there's not really much I have to engage with in this realm for me that I have to go to, but I do on Christmas Eve go to my mother-in-law's, and we go there usually around 5-ish or something like that. So it's like for me, the food there is just not up to my caliber, my par, I guess I should say. It's not that it doesn't taste good because she's a very good cook, and this is no criticism to her, but it's just not the quality that I choose to usually engage with, and it's, in the ingredients. So I typically just don't eat. And some people might say, well, that's kind of like rude, or just like I've been doing it for years, so I think they're kind of over that. But yeah, I just don't eat. Like we go there for Thanksgiving, same thing. I just don't eat, and I eat at my mother's house, which is, you know, a lot of the foods that I've made with my mother as well, and they're really good quality. So I just don't eat. So that's an option for people. So just so they know, like you can take that stance and you can do that and be like, this doesn't meet my standard and I'm just choosing not to engage. And that's where I do. I do bring like a dessert and things like that. And if I want to eat it, I could, but typically I don't, because by the time they eat dessert, it's 9 o'clock at night and I just I'm good. Like I don't want to, engage at that time. I mean, I could if I wanted to. I just typically don't even feel like it. Like I just don't like my body's like my digestion is so shut off, like especially on a winter night, like late in the evening. I'm like, I'm good. Like. And then of course the lighting is going to be horrible there, so I just bring my blue blockers and I wear my red ones, and it's like whatever. I wear my Heather says I look like a bug in these ones, which is fine. I don't even care because I like them because they're so large and they
Wow,
work.
I don't think I said a bug, but I mean, they're just like,
They're so big on my face, but
are
I
those
love them.
Soleil Well? Is that Soleil Well?
So these are from Chroma, and the
Oh,
reason why
okay, yeah,
I
that's
love
right.
them so much is because A, they're big and they like really block out a lot of the light. And then B, when we interviewed the guy from Chroma, Matt, and he
Yes.
mentioned a little bit about, because when I first wore these, I was like, wait, why does everything look a little bit purple? It lets in a little bit of purple spectrum of light, so
Oh,
you can, so it takes out all the blue, but you can actually still kind of see a little bit better then with complete red, and they don't affect my circadian rhythm in any negative way. So they're very interesting kind of lens, and I really, really do like them, and I've been wearing them a lot at night, and I've really kind of fallen in love with these frames, honestly. So
well, I like the wider frames because
I
I
even
don't
look at the
like
plug.
when the light sneaks in on the side.
It's
Because
so big, it's covering
yeah,
every.
I like
So
Viva Rays. I've been wearing them for years. I have so many pairs of theirs, and
yeah,
but they are a little smaller. So I think I actually would like to try those because I don't like that light sneak. Because I'm not always by myself. Like I have other people around, right?
yeah,
So they're not on board, and I'm like, so I wear my little hat. I wear a brimmed hat at night. And
yep,
then we have the lights low after a certain point, but sometimes, we got to use the kitchen light, whatever. It's super bright. Unfortunately, I put like this bright ass full it mimics like solstice light, in the
yeah.
summer. I'm like, why did I do that? It's like bright white light. I'm like, oops. So I have my hat on, I have my red glasses on, but they're the sides, they're not wide. So I like the wideness. They're just definitely really wide.
And yeah,
So,
you know what? I have a small face. Actually, the other brand that I wear that all the time that I love is this is the kids frames from Midwest Red Light
oh
Therapy.
yeah, yeah.
They're the kid. They see now these
Oh, you
actually look
do
better.
have a small face. Those look perfect on you.
Yeah, because and these are the kids' frames, and I
Yeah.
wear these all the time, and I absolutely love these as well. And if I was going to recommend like a cheap pair of blue blockers, these would be the ones. Look, they have like this, they kind of like don't, I don't
They
even
were
know,
more flexible. Yeah.
flexible. My brain doesn't think of the words. Anyway, it's just I love them, so they're really comfortable, and I wear them all the time too. But
But let me talk a little bit, Vanessa, about this going to places. I mean, for years,
yeah,
I took my own food to work, and people are like, "Oh, you're a vegetarian." I'm like, "No, I'm actually eating chicken right now, but that's okay." Because anytime you're different, it's a threat to people. Because then they have to question like, "Well, what is it about what I'm doing that doesn't meet your standards?" So now we're in a whole different ballgame, right? Of like, ooh, brings up a lot of stuff. And it's funny because I'll tell you a little story. Like my grandmother was so offended because I was like really militant about my stuff. I was one of those annoying, like I'm just and my family was so incensed. It's like, they're so offended. Well, you're fine. How'd you make it this far? You used to eat all this stuff, right? I mean, it goes
oh yeah, I've
deep.
gotten that comment before too.
It goes deep. And but anyways, the funny part, and I just stuck to my, I was might eat more Crisco and Jiffy and all that. I'm serious. Like that's the stuff they would eat, right? I'm like, I grew
Yeah,
up on
yeah,
that stuff.
uh-huh.
I grew up
Mhm.
on crappy food, but
I grew up on that kind of stuff too, Heather.
I know. But at a certain point, she's like, "Thank God you don't bring your own food because I love it when you come because I don't have to cook." So, anyways, that was her eventual approach or thoughts about it, and I thought that was hilarious. But the thing
Yeah.
is you can either have a lot of tension around it because oh, they're not gonna like it, or you're not comfortable in your own power and your own sovereignty, and so now you're going with tension. You don't want that. You're not gonna enjoy yourself. You don't want to go and be like, well, and look at their food and think that that's not
There's no
okay.
judgment.
Like it's okay for
Yeah.
them. It's
Mhm.
perfectly fine. That's their reality and it works for them and blah blah blah. So you got peace, which is probably what you do, Vanessa, right?
Mhm.
And or you can say like, I'll be fine and I'm gonna eat selectively and it's more about the mental space that I create and the safety in my body and that this isn't going to hurt me because right the psychology around it if you're like oh I'm eating this but I'm going to eat it because whatever no you don't want that tension in your body so you have to find a way that works for you right? You
Mhm.
have to find a way that works for you and trust your body is resilient enough, unless you're like totally like you're so ill you can't do anything, doesn't matter. Anyways, you're not going to go, you're going to be in bed. But if you're up and about and you can go do stuff, then you have to you make a choice. Like, how am
Mhm.
I going to do this with the least amount of tension in my body? I walk clients through this all the time because in the holidays come, oh, everybody's like, I got to go to the in laws or whatever it is, right? And they hate it and it's like okay let's have a talk about that and then they had a really great experience like a client I just worked through with this recently they found a way to make it work for themselves whether like staying at a hotel not at the place not at the in-laws and just that kind of stuff so and it works out much better it's the energy you go into it with.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. And it's like I loved everything you just said and it's like totally that. And It's also just standing in your own power, not really caring what other people think. They probably think I'm really weird that I wear those weird red glasses at their house. Like they probably like don't understand it. They're like Vanessa just does her own weird thing, whatever. It's fine. Like I don't even care anymore. Like I mean, maybe there was a time when I did, but certainly not anymore because I just have standards for myself and there's no judgment. There is absolutely no I think there used to be a lot of judgment in me, and I'll share that right now. When I first learned and I got really sick and I first learned about all these things, there was judgment. But I'm like, why am I judging others when I used to do the same thing before I knew, right? So there's no judgment. It's just that's what they're doing. This is what I'm doing. That's my standard. And I'll make a beautiful meal for myself before I go there and I'll eat and I'll go there full. I wouldn't go there fasted, like without eating and then being like hungry and being like, oh man, I wish I could eat that food. And then like having that torment of like, oh, I really do kind of want to eat this, but I know it's not good for me, or like, playing that game with yourself. So what my strategy is I'll eat something that I know is nourishing for myself. Then I'll go there and I'll have my blue blockers and I'm still going to enjoy myself and have fun with everybody and have great time. I'm just not going to engage in food. It's just really not that big of a deal. Like we don't always have to engage in food to like enjoy the time with people, right?
Absolutely,
Which is like
absolutely.
another like layer, right? So that's kind of what I do. And there's nothing coming up this year that I felt like I wanted to like indulge in, but if there was, I would too. Like it's not all about that either, right? Like there are things that I will indulge in life at times, like when I'm saying like, okay, so say we're away RVing and we go to this like amazing ice cream place. Like I'm gonna have it sometimes if I want to, and maybe the quality isn't so fantastic, but it's like, okay, it was fun. Like so I'm not saying to be rigid or dogmatic and always, but my choice at that moment is not to engage, right? So it's all about that choice that comes back to that again, right? And that's what I felt like. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what feels good. So that's my thoughts. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Because see how much peace you're creating inside, how much
Yeah.
agency you have. You know you have choice and you're going to make decisions that will nourish you all the way around. And then the only thing is managing the intensity of all the stuff that you want to do beautiful things, right? And buy the gifts, and then it just gets to be this long list. So sometimes I think it's hard to scale it back and then to really enjoy the time because you're so frazzled, right?
Mm.
So I think that's mostly a lot more for women than men probably, but right, because
Yeah.
we want to create a beautiful experience.
Mhm.
When you were talking earlier, you're like I do these things, right? I want to do these things. You kept touching your heart because they
Oh yeah.
matter. They matter to you. That comes
Yeah.
from the heart.
Of
So we
course.
want to always keep tabs on that. Like how much am I staying connected to my heart and what I long for versus I'm supposed to or I have to or whatever. Like
Hmm.
let's
Hmm.
check
Hmm.
in with ourselves regularly to see how you're navigating the holidays because we can easily get swept up in the all the things, the commercialism, the sensationalism, da 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 da. So it's just a great time to really take stock in what really matters to me the most. How can I make it so that I don't feel overwhelmed and I can actually fully enjoy this experience.
Yeah.
Like
And
I
ask
used
for
to, I
help.
used to be, sorry,
And asking for help, like I think is like
absolutely,
so important to like, that not everything has to fall on I know a lot of times women, they feel like everything falls on them. It doesn't always have to be that way, and you can ask for like if you're hosting the dinner, you can say, well, can you bring this? Make it a potluck, those kinds of things, that's so helpful. And honestly, the reason that's like I said, I chose brunch because it's easier, right? Omelets are easy, eggs are easier. I can put an egg casserole and roasted potatoes. Like this is easy stuff, like that's not that complicated and kind of like rote cooking for me in a way, and everybody can help with. My husband will make omelets, like everybody can help and do things. So it'll be easy and fun and enjoyable and really yummy. Man, I love breakfast foods. I don't know about you, but I'm like thinking about that. I'm like eggs and potatoes. I could eat that like daily with like sausage and eggs, like sausage, eggs, bacon, potatoes, roasted potatoes. Like I'm in. Like this is so
right?
good.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
there's two kinds of food people. There are people who are eating just for the strictly for the to stay alive, and then there's people who eat for joy and
Oh,
pleasure
that's
and
not me at all.
experiencing, right? I'm definitely the latter, and
I
so
am so the latter.
I just love because my grandmothers and my mom, they're all really food focused and they like to cook and they didn't always use the most amazing ingredients like
Mm.
hydrogenated lard, whatever for the pie crust, but everything tasted amazing. So I've just been obsessed with that ever since, and I've the thing is interesting about the food, and then especially around the holidays, everything gets amplified, right?
Yeah.
Is that there's so much charge to it. There's like, is it the like for me, is it the right quality? Does it look and feel and taste amazing? Does what's the heritage? And then it's like I can go on, but this is ridiculous. I can just like really obsess about it. But for years, Vanessa, like I thought that it was so bad if I ate certain things that I would literally deprive myself, right? And then that was just not a good balance for me. It was really not a good balance because
No,
honestly,
not about the
I
balance.
was actually kind of underweight for a good number of years, and
Mm.
which part of me I was like, well, that was a long time ago, but I was so scared of food, and now and one of my good friends back in Monterey, she's like, "Oh, watched this video about freshly milled flour," and Vanessa's probably like tired of hearing me talk about it. So I'm like,
No, I'm so
"Freshly milled
excited about it.
flour! I'm so excited about freshly milled flour because I can't eat wheat that's commercial or all-purpose or whatever. Like, you can't eat wheat. That's what I've been telling myself because I would literally get a bad head cold. I can't breathe. I'm getting eczema, all this stuff. So she said, "Well, they say that if it's freshly milled whole grain, that you're not likely to have problems." And I thought, well, damn it, I have to try and see if that's really true or not, because I like to bake, and so I haven't been baking much all these years except for the holidays, right? And then I don't practice enough, so my pie crust always sucked, which made me so mad. So I've been doing freshly milled flour, and now this holiday season is like I am literally just floating. I'm like, this is amazing. My pie crust was amazing yesterday. I'm gonna make chicken pot pie. I was telling Vanessa before we came on. I'm like so excited to do bake all the things. So for me, it's like I'm having this epiphany, right? This it's a magical holiday because I get to bake stuff now. Can't eat it all because it's just I don't want to get fat. But I'm not gonna do that anymore. We're like I can't eat this because well, it literally would make me sick. But now I can eat it. I'm not having any problems at all. Nothing.
That's
So
amazing.
nothing.
Yeah.
No eczema, no head cold, no bloating, nothing. It's totally fine. And I didn't realize it was because when you mill the flour, it creates a lot of problems for people. And it's just organic berries. And then I grind them and I make stuff and I'm fine. Fine.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I'm so proud of you for doing that. I'm so excited for you. That's like so much fun and like how like you're like just really going right to the right way that they would make it, right? Like you know what I mean? Like they're just you doing it the right because it makes sense to me when you think about like milk, right? So we get like processed crappy milk, right, from the food store that's, got all kinds of stuff in it and the way that it's, preserved and chemicals and stuff. And then people don't do well with that, right? And they say, oh, milk is not good for me, right? But it's really the processing and the way that the commercialization of the milk that makes it not good. But if you have milk from, like, say, right from the cow, that's raw and A2, people do well with it. That's actually my case. It was back in the day. I think I've had more commercial dairy and not have had issues now. But when I first was sick, I remember um, I took the dairy out completely and then I added in like raw dairy and it was fine. And it was like, okay, so it wasn't actually the dairy, it was actually just the quality of dairy, right? So the bread that the wheat, it sounds like the same situation, right? It's just that we've like destroyed it, basically, is what happened. And who knows if it's glyphosate or whatever, or like chemicals or the processing or something. But I'm like so excited for you and I'm excited for chicken pot pie and all kinds of stuff. That sounds amazing.
It is amazing for me because it's just so nourishing and there's so much history there for me and it tastes really
Mm.
good. And it goes against most of what everyone's doing. They're not doing grains. Grains are bad, beans are bad, all that's bad. You can't eat the sugar and the fat together. It's like I'm breaking all the rules. Like it's not quantum. You're not supposed to eat this stuff in the winter. It's like, oh well, I've always been a rule breaker. I just
I
have.
I'm not so sure that like we get so rigid and we follow these rules and get dogmatic and be like we should or we have to or like this is the way it needs to be like so I'm all about eating like local and seasonal and ancestrally and I still do that and I still am honoring that but I'm not like perfect with it and I've been eating a lot of oatmeal which has been really great. Still not gluten, but it's oatmeal and it's been fine and it's like oh man, I had that for breakfast with two hard-boiled eggs. Like I don't think that in the winter our ancestors a couple hundred years ago, they would have used grains. Like they would have had fresh grains to help them survive through winter because you wouldn't have had eggs. If you really want to get real strict here, you wouldn't have had eggs or dairy either.
Right,
So,
exactly, exactly.
so, is that then going to be against quantum? Like, I don't know. Like, I think we can just get too like rigid and dogmatic and like crazy. Like, I think it's like what feels good in your body, what works is really probably the most important thing. But then, yeah, you want to kind of I mean, try to eat somewhat local and seasonal if you can, but it doesn't have to be like completely that. Like, am I still eating banana pancakes like I was in the summer? No, I'm eating pumpkin pancakes, and that feels amazing. And I'm using oats with it. Like, I'm using oats to make the pumpkin pancakes. Like, so I do kind of still feel that, but it's really more not necessarily about me following rules. It's about me, what do I crave and desire? Like, I don't want a salad. Like, it doesn't sound good. Like, I don't want banana pancakes. It doesn't sound as good. Like, that's what it's more about. It's not, it's a different vibe than I have to do this or I have to follow these rules versus what feels good for me. And if making freshly milled pies is good, then do it. I mean, that
Well,
sounds
plus
amazing.
I really monitor, like I'm really staying attuned to my body's response, and there's
Yeah.
no inflammation, there's no nothing. Not just making excuses either, like I want it to be okay. It is okay because I so can feel into my body and sense, am I digesting it? Like what is my sleep like? All the things. Like I'm monitoring all that.
Yeah, and if it feels good and it's working for your body and it's nourishing and you enjoy it, and yeah, it's a win. Right?
Absolutely.
Like it sounds
Absolutely.
like amazing, right? I'm like was so excited about oats because I like eating oatmeal for breakfast and it's like so good. And it's like it's warm and yummy. Like I had the other day I had oatmeal with roasted pears that I make in advance. So I put those in the oatmeal and then I had some of my fresh homemade raw yogurt in with that with some honey and it was like
Good grief, that
it was
sounds amazing.
it was like heaven in my mouth every bite. I was like, this is like, it's so good. I'm like, why would I deprive myself of this? It's so nourishing and it's so delicious. I'm like it's just, I don't know.
Wow, that's
We're
incredible.
total foodies, both of us. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I love it. Like I'm probably gonna make a chocolate torte for Christmas and Linzer tarts. I mean, they're not gonna, that's not seasonal. Local chocolate never is here. Like, I just, but you know what? Like, it's fine. Like,
You'll be
I'm gonna
fine.
enjoy it. And it's like, so
I'm gonna
anyway,
make I have my whole Christmas menu planned out. Lamb adobo. I might make roasted mushrooms. I might make like a squash salad. I'm gonna make what's the other thing? It's mashed cauliflower, just that kind of stuff with rice with the
I'm
lamb
having mashed
adobo.
cauliflower today. I love mashed
Yeah.
cauliflower.
Yeah, I just
Cauliflower.
made some. And then
Yep.
I might think I'm gonna make a freshly milled sponge cake. I'm gonna make a pumpkin roll.
Ooh,
Mhm.
you must be such a good cook. I'm so
I
excited.
try.
I think you are. I think you are. I have this
I
really
try.
good feeling that you're a really good cook. Yeah, we're doing, like I said, we're doing brunch, so it's going to be a little bit more low key, but yeah, it'll be nice and easy, but also really yummy and enjoyable, which is fun. I think I'm going to make some pumpkin pancakes also, which will be
Oh
awesome.
yes, yes.
I've been like obsessed with them.
Mhm.
So
I make
yeah,
pumpkin scones.
mm, yum. Yeah, so fun. We could talk about food all day long.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a
clearly.
great gift idea, actually. Like, think about
Yes.
homemade gifts, right? Like,
Mhm.
I think homemade gifts would be really awesome. I'm doing some homemade gifts this year, but homemade food, like as a gift, is an awesome gift idea. Just as we segue into talking about like different gifts ideas, that's a really, really awesome one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, there's so many good options. We're going to have in the show notes links to our recommendations for each of us and the discount codes for those that are available. And I just always go for the really, really high quality but simple stuff like beeswax candles or the really high quality body care stuff because that's one of my things I love.
Hmm.
Just there's so many different good options. There's the quantum stuff. Vanessa and I are both really excited to get the sun hug. It's a new winter sunbathing. I don't know, what do we call this? Not a device. It's a thing, right? It's a
It
thing you get
basically
in.
keeps the wind away and it keeps
Yeah.
it'll make you warm. So you're in this like
Yeah.
kind of encapsulated thing where you could like, did you get well, getting the lay down one. So you can lay down in it and then the sun will shine, but the wind will be blocked and you'll be warmer. So you can kind of have less clothing on in the winter and enjoy the sun. So yeah, I put Sun Hug as number one on my Christmas list. So I think I am getting one. So I'm really excited about that because I miss the sun
Oh
and the
yeah.
warmth of it so much. And it's been, so far, our winter has been really brutally cold and windy and dark and gray. And another thing that I'm using is you can see I'm using the Sky Portal. I'm using that. I actually should probably brighten it a little bit, but I didn't want it to be too annoying in the podcast. But um, That's from Chroma, also the same place that I was sharing my beautiful blue lockers I was sharing before. But that also is another way. And right now it's kind of orange. You could brighten it so it's more white. But I don't know if that's too annoying. Is it annoying in the camera? No.
No, it's not
Anyway,
too bad.
it's giving you the photons of light that you need, for the brightness, the lux that you need. And I use that. So I've been using that this winter too, just to give me that boost to make sure like I don't, because I can dip down into like not seasonal depression, but just feel a little bit lower mood when there's no sun around for a couple days. So I have been using that. And he has some infrared in there as well. And I also have my infrared, um, light going down there on the floor, my red light panel. So I'm getting infrared and I'm getting infrared light from Strainless Lighting. That's a great gift. Like a light bulb is a great gift to have. I'm not sure if this is too annoying. You have one too sitting right there. I honestly, I literally love this light bulb. Like it's honestly my favorite thing. And I love to dim it down at night and I like sit and I write by it or read by it. And it feels like a little fireplace right next to me, or like a little candle. So, I'm making sure I always have a lot of like sources of infrared in my environment during the day. So, like I said, the infrared light panel is going, this is going, this is going. These are all giving me that because right now I don't have any, I'm inside, I'm not getting any infrared in my environment.
Mhm.
Um, so gotta do what we gotta do, right? So
Yeah.
that's
There's a
one
lot of
way.
things to get
Lighting
harder.
stuff is helpful though. I think they're
Yeah.
good gifts. Yeah.
Things get harder, Vanessa, in this, like the light, we don't get enough natural light because I mean, I tend to be indoors more because it's cold out.
Yeah, me too.
I still try to go out, but I mean, it's not enough. I'm not getting the UV light, which I can really feel the difference. Like my skin is drier, all the things,
Me
right?
too.
It's really frustrating. But and the machines for me, the UV light that I have isn't quite cutting it. Like I can sit in front of it for an hour and I don't really notice a big difference, and I'm trying. So it's not
Hmm.
worth motivating. I'm like, eh. But then also I have a harder time drinking more liquids in the winter because it's cold and I have to make more teas and stuff. So we have a lot of good resources on our holiday idea list for you for water and structuring water and all the things to help keep you up on your hydration in the
Yeah,
winter.
I do a lot of herbal teas throughout the winter. I do stinging nettles all the time. I'll do chamomile. I'll do dandelion root still. I'll do milk thistle. I'll do marshmallow root, and they all have different benefits to the body. But I do a lot of herbal teas, which really help with cellular hydration. I drink from Blue Bottle Love all the time. This is one cup that I have. It has a little, they have different messages on that imprint into the water. Or this is a tea. This is stinging nettles I'm drinking right now. But this one has a B and it says believe on it. So I think these are beautiful gifts like to get. I love this one I have. This is another one. This is Awakening. So they're supposed to help heighten your intuition, which I think it does personally. So I love it. I think that's a beautiful gift, Blue Bottle Love, because I
But that's
love.
not the one you use for your for the actual structuring device. Those are special, right?
And those are just water
Different.
storage. Those are just
Okay.
for like water storage and to drink out of, like to actually drink water out of. But they Blue Bottle Love is also a way to structure water, I
Right.
believe.
Right. 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 Right.
And
Right.
it's also protective. So it protects the water against like non-AEMFs or like negative thoughts or frequencies or things like that. So I pretty much drink out of Blue Bottle Love all the time. I'd say I think literally all the time. But I do have the MEA water structuring device
Oh,
as
that's
well.
what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love this one because like this is the silver version. There's a gold version as well, but this is the MEA, this little part right here, and the water runs through basically magnets that structure it and sacred geometry, and it vortexes. So you spin it 4 times, and then it spins around like that, and I'm takes some effort. I vortex a lot of water for myself and my family, but once I've structured the water, then I put it into Blue Bottle Love typically.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean that's a great gift. Another Christmas gift idea that I have on my list for the following year is, the one for the showers and one for the bathtubs and things like that, which we don't have yet. But yeah, I mean, I use this to like if I'm making like bone broth, I'm going to start with structured water. Even though the broth is going to help structure the water, like to me, it's like start with it, or if I'm cooking rice or I'm cooking, which I'm eating tons of white rice, which is like so fun, by the way. Also, think about carbs and not having any issues. I used to get joint pain from rice and I have zero, like no problems with them at all.
Well, there you go.
Um, yeah, so if I'm making rice or I'm making potatoes, like I'll structure the water first before. So I use it in foods as well. not just for drinking. So to restructure, because once your water or food is 24 hours away from nature, it loses its structure. And your body will do that structuring work for you. However, that takes a lot of energy and work for your body to do it. So if you can structure it beforehand, you're giving your body, like it takes the load off. The body doesn't have to do that. It's already structured. It can take that energy and information and like it's readily available and usable. So that's an awesome gift idea, and I would love to have a whole house one day in the future. That would be amazing. Um, so that's good. Those are something that I use. I don't know what else. This is so fun. This is a great stocking stuffer, I would say. This is from Danny Hamilton. She was on our podcast and she has these little bracelets that she makes that have these beads on it that detect UV light. So when you wear them, I'm inside, so you've got nothing, right? The leads are just white. But if I went outside, they would change color and they would be purple or yellow or pink, depending on the frequency of light, whether it's UVA or UVB. And she has like a little guide that tells you. So it's like a good way to, instead of having to take an app out, you could be like, just go outside with your bracelet on or just wear this and you'll know, hey, there's UVA, there's UVB, right? Like I think the purples are like UVA and then like the UVB is like the yellows and oranges as well. So it's very cool. I love it and I wear it a lot. So that's a cute little stocking stuffer idea. Blue blockers are a great stocking stuffer idea. We have many links for those. Everybody should have a pair of blue blockers. In fact, I recommend having a top couple of pairs. I have several pairs because it's nice, like when you're going to the store to have one or things like that. I love the yellows from Chroma also. I really do love theirs.
Mhm.
My yellows from Chroma. They're nice and big for when I go into like, food stores and I don't care what I look like. And people probably look at me and I usually have like a hat on. People probably think I'm like totally nuts, but I like being totally nuts.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
thing is if you're going against the grain with a lot of stuff, you're probably on the right direction.
100%,
Yeah,
100%. So we
yeah.
mentioned this sun hug. We really need to get this woman on our podcast too, Heather. Um, Nicole, I forget her last name, but she's Dr. Nicole, and she actually healed her MS with using her tinctures. So
Wow.
Nicole's apothecary, and she has all different kinds of ones, but I do love her stuff. I use her elderberry, like when the kids get sick. I have a turkey tail one. I have a stinging nettles one that I use, and I have lion's mane and reishi. So she's got all kinds of little tinctures, but she also has like combos, like ones for like gut issues, ones for like menopause and things like that. So that's, I think, a well worth like cute little stocking stuffer for people too to use or to have. Trying to think what
And those are
else.
on your list?
Those are on my list. I could not, I probably couldn't. Oh, is this one's dead? Can't show you. Didn't I just
Is that from Black Blue Light or Amazon?
Yeah, usually it's a little red book
Those
light.
are great stocking stuffers too. Is
I
this
feel like I just charged
reading
this.
light? It's a book reading light you would clip onto your book, and you can get them in more red or more orange colors. So I
Mhm.
have several of those. They're indispensable, really.
Oh my God, they're so amazing to have, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well,
Light
what?
bulbs, light
Yeah.
bulbs in general, red light bulbs, orange light bulbs. We have links for those. I have Shilajit. I take that daily. That's like so good for your health as well. It's almost kind of like a binder in a way as well, too, and
Hmm.
mineral support. That's a great one. I've got Butter Me Up Organics on there as well. This is like my old bottle of their magnesium oil, which is so nice to put on your feet. Very relaxing. That's another good stocking stuffer. I need a new one. But they have a lot of good makeups and things like that. I got this like little nice bamboo toothbrush from them that's so nice and soft bristles and all organic. So they have a lot of good organic products and good like makeup products and things like that. So that's on there. I don't know. That's what I got. What do you got, Heather? Anything else?
Oh, well, that pretty much covers it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll leave that in the show notes. I'm just looking at our list and see if there's anything else that's like really fun stuff that people might want. Yeah, I think we covered a lot of it though. Herbs are fun. Red light therapy devices. Kelly Bento's torch is amazing. We've talked about that before. I mean, if that would be an amazing gift. I'm getting a new red light toothbrush this year because the one that I had broke. So Bond Charge has a nice one. So that's a nice gift to ask for, is a fun gift. Um, I would say a red light toothbrush. That would be awesome.
So many good
Those are the things that
options.
I'm asking for. My top two gifts asked for this year were a new red light toothbrush and a sun hug. And of course, then, we give, we get discount codes for these things because we use them, we enjoy them, we love them, and they're really health supportive. Um, I would
Hmm.
say earth runners would be amazing. I think that would be fun, or any kind of like earthing shoes would be fun. I only have earth runners, but you might have another one on there, right? Don't you have another one that you use?
I like the grounds tennis shoes a
Browns.
lot.
Yep, I don't have those, but I'm sure they're really, really amazing. Um, Tissue salts. I've been loving tissue salts. I have a link here for a place to get some tissue salts. I love Body Bio's products. I don't know if you want to buy somebody supplements for their Christmas gift, but I love all their products. So that would be something else you could think of. Good book is always good. I think that we covered it. Yeah.
Hmm.
And you
Hmm.
could always get somebody a like a gift. I've asked for that for my birthday, like a session as a gift. I've asked
Yeah,
that.
and your courses, all of Vanessa's courses she has would be excellent gifts for anyone.
Yeah, gifts or sessions. I mean, I've asked for that for my birthdays or for holidays before. I'm like, I really want a session with so and so, but it's money. It's expensive. These things are not cheap, right? So then it's like, okay, then I can have somebody gift me that or give me the money for that as a gift, and that's a beautiful gift, right? So it's an idea. Just throwing them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So just to enlighten and enrich your holidays, we have all these great suggestions for your family. A lot of these are family-run businesses, so support these
Yes.
amazing people who are bringing their healing products to the world and get quality products, right? You don't have to buy well, this sounds really judgmental, but the cheap stuff that's made in China or whatever, but God forbid.
Oh yeah, no.
But like,
No.
buy some things obviously are manufactured in China, like light panels and stuff, because that's just the way it's set up. But as much as you can buy the local stuff, but and then buy from people who are trying to bring healthy products
Mhm.
to
Another one just came up to my mind is like from a farm, like a gift card to a good farm. I have
yes.
listed a bunch of farms on there. I know Dutch Meadow Farms, the one that I buy from, has gift card options. So that's a beautiful gift to get a gift card to like a really good farm, so you get like people can buy really healthy food for, that's an amazing gift. Like there's so many good ideas, right? That, we can think of. And yeah,
Hmm.
I would also say like well, I guess you can't really do that one. I'm making remedies for people, but you can't, most people can't really do that. That's a homemade gift, right? But you could get them a session, I guess, would be the best thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Well, I think we covered everything. We hope that you guys have a wonderful holiday. And we really thank you for being, like I said before, part of our community and just being here. And we're really honored and really, that's really special. And means a lot to us that you guys are here with us and you listen to our podcast and that, you follow along. And like Heather said, every product we've shared here or I've shared on that list is something I use, something somebody in my family uses, something like that. Like and they're really good products that we invested and made sure that they're top notch, right?
Yep,
And I think that's
absolutely.
really, really important, right? We don't just get nonsense. Good
No, it's
stuff.
all very good quality. Absolutely, you're right, Vanessa. Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you on the next show.